Oh, you think you know what's going on, don't you? The world's all shiny and perfect, right? Everyone's running around with their shiny little dreams and their perfectly painted smiles. But here's the thing. No one's talking about the real stuff, are they? The stuff that makes you look in the mirror and wonder, what am I even doing with my life? It's funny, isn't it? All this chatter, all this noise, and no one's actually saying what needs to be said. Everyone's too busy keeping up appearances, too busy playing the game. But have you ever stopped to ask yourself why? Oh, so you want to talk about the truth, huh? Well, buckle up, because the truth isn't what you think it is. It's not the sparkly thing they feed you in your little motivational books or the fairy tales they love to tell you before bed. The truth is raw, messy, and let me tell you, it's often hidden behind all the noise. Yeah, that's right. The world is a circus, and we're all just juggling the loudest, brightest distractions. And that's what they want you to do. Stay busy, stay distracted, and most importantly, stay ignorant. You see, the truth, it doesn't care about your comfort zone. It doesn't care about your Instagram feed, your perfect little life, or your carefully curated image. It's not sitting pretty in some corner, waiting for you to find it, no. It's hidden, wrapped up in layers of all the nonsense that surrounds you. The distractions? Oh, they're like a big neon sign. Look here, pay attention to me. The truth? The truth is patient. It's lurking in the background, smirking, knowing you're too busy chasing after the shiny stuff to even notice it. What you think is truth? It's just a smoke screen, and that smoke, my friend, is thick. It's like a fog that blinds you from the things you need to see. You're running around trying to look for meaning in all the wrong places. You look at the latest trend, the latest craze, and you think, hey, maybe if I just buy that, I'll finally feel fulfilled. And it's all a lie. Because you're never going to find the truth in anything material, anything external, not in the next promotion, not in the new house, and definitely not in a new pair of shoes. You're just playing dress up, trying to fill a hole that no designer label or five-star vacation can ever fill. But here's the kicker, even though the truth is hidden, it's still there. Oh yeah, it's waiting for the moment when you're too tired, too broken, or too fed up with all the distractions. Because that's when you'll start to listen. That's when the truth will whisper in your ear. It won't shout, no. The truth doesn't need to shout. It's more like a murmur, a soft little nudge. When you're lying in bed at 2 a.m., questioning every choice you've ever made, that's when it'll slip through the cracks. That's when you'll hear it. The thing is, you're so used to the noise that you can't even hear it anymore. People are constantly telling you what to think, how to feel, what to wear, who to love. You're drowning in all of it, and you're so used to it now that you don't even notice it's drowning you. The truth doesn't need to fight for your attention, though. It's patient. It waits. It knows that one day you'll tire of all the lies. The lies about success, about happiness, about love. You'll get tired of chasing things that don't matter. And when that day comes, when you've run out of distractions, the truth will be there, calmly standing in front of you, waiting for you to stop running. You'll feel it in your gut, that little flicker of recognition. It won't come with a fanfare, no confetti, no parade. It'll be subtle, quiet, but when you feel it, you'll know. You'll know that all this time, the truth was right there. hidden behind the noise. And here's the kicker. You might look around and find that the truth was never as complicated as you thought. It wasn't some grand revelation or some magical moment. No. The truth is simpler than that. It's all the stuff you've been ignoring, the stuff that's been whispering to you this whole time, but you were too busy watching the circus to listen. So, the next time the noise gets loud, and trust me, it will get loud, just remember, the truth is still there, hiding behind all the distractions. It's waiting for you to notice, waiting for you to stop chasing the shiny objects and start looking inward. When you do that, when you get quiet enough to hear it, you'll finally realize the truth was never lost. It was just waiting for you to get real. But until then, enjoy the noise. It's the soundtrack of the circus, after all. Oh, life, it's like a game, isn't it? We're all just players, trying to make the best of it. But here's the twist, folks. The rules aren't as simple as you think. In fact, they're constantly changing. The game you thought you were playing, the one where you thought you understood the objective, well, that was never the real game. You were just a pawn in someone else's story. Isn't that funny? You thought you had control, you thought you were the one pulling the strings, but deep down, you were just following the script. The real question isn't how you win, it's how long you can survive before you finally realize the whole thing is rigged. Life's not some romanticized fairy tale where you get to live happily ever after. No. Life is more like a twisted riddle, filled with traps, tricks, and smoke screens. The thing you're chasing? It's never quite what you think it is. You want success, you want love, you want happiness, but those things, they're fleeting. They slip through your fingers the second you think you've got them all figured out. It's almost like you're chasing shadows. And don't get me wrong, we all fall for it. Oh, we fall for it hard. We chase those dreams, those illusions of grandeur, thinking they'll give us the life we've always wanted. But the joke's on us, isn't it? Because the more you chase, the more you lose. The more you play by their rules, the more you forget who you really are. The more you try to fit into their little box, the more you lose sight of the one thing that's truly yours, yourself. You're so busy trying to please them, trying to live up to their expectations, that you forget to ask the most important question: why am I doing this? Why am I letting them dictate my every move? Why am I buying into this illusion? And that, my friend, is where the real game begins. Because once you stop playing by their rules, once you stop dancing to their tune, that's when the game gets interesting. You see, the moment you stop listening to all the noise, to all the distractions, that's when you hear the real truth. That's when the game reveals its true nature. It's not about what you can get, it's about who you become. The thing is, nobody ever told you that. They never told you that the game isn't about winning, it's about surviving. It's about breaking free from the chains they've placed on you. It's about realizing that everything you've been told, everything you've been sold is just a distraction. The game is all about control. Control over your thoughts, control over your actions, control over your destiny. But you never had control. No, they took it from you a long time ago, wrapped it in a shiny package, and sold it back to you. They made you believe you were in charge, that you were calling the shots, when in reality, you were just playing their game. It's a funny thing, isn't it? All this time you thought you were free, but you were just following their script. You've been running in circles, desperately trying to get ahead, but no matter how hard you try, you end up in the same place. Why? Because you were never meant to win. You were meant to play, to entertain, to distract, to stay in your lane and keep their game going. And you've done it well. You've done it so well, in fact, that you've convinced yourself that this is the only way, that this is how it's supposed to be. But here's the catch. What if there's another way? What if there's a way out? What if the game you've been playing was never meant for you? What if you could choose to opt out of their game and start playing your own? What if you could throw the rules away, toss out the script, and start creating your own story? That's the real question, isn't it? It's not about playing their game better, it's about playing your own game. And that's where it gets dangerous, doesn't it? Because the second you stop playing by their rules, the second you start to question everything, well, that's when the real chaos begins. But chaos, my friend, it's not a bad thing. Chaos is freedom. Chaos is power. Because in chaos, there's only you. You and whatever you choose to do with the time you've got left. So here's the question you need to ask yourself. How long are you going to keep playing their game? How long are you going to keep chasing those illusions? How long are you going to let them control you? Because let me tell you something. The moment you break free, the moment you stop playing by their rules, that's when the real fun begins. Thicket thought. And trust me, it's gonna be a hell of a ride. The world, isn't it just delightful? We're all running around like ants in a maze, thinking we're in control, that we know what we're doing, that we've got it all figured out. But let's get real for a second, shall we? You think you're in control, but you're just another cog in the machine. Oh, you've got your little plans, your little goals, but let me tell you something, those little goals, they mean nothing. You're just going through the motions, pretending like it matters, pretending that you're making progress, when in reality, you're stuck in a loop, a beautiful, twisted loop. You're surrounded by distractions, by illusions, by things that promise you happiness, but it's all a lie. You see, they've got you all tangled up in this grand performance. You're just following it, step by step, day by day, and they tell you, go here, do that, here's the plan, here's the dream, here's what you need to be happy. Well, isn't that just precious? They've sold you this dream, and you've bought it, hook, line, and sinker. You think that what you need is more money, more fame, more power. That's the game, right? The bigger house, the shinier car, the perfect life. But here's the twist. The more you chase those things, the emptier you get. You're running in circles, trying to get more, trying to fill the void, but every time you get close, the void grows bigger. You've never been told this before, have you? They never taught you that the game is rigged, that the things you're chasing are the very things that will keep you in chains. Oh, it's a beautiful joke. A joke that you're playing right into. They'll tell you to keep climbing, to keep pushing, to keep doing whatever it takes to succeed. But here's the kicker. They're not telling you what success really is. They've defined success for you. They've told you what it looks like, what it feels like, and they've made sure you believe it. They've created this shiny little box that you're supposed to fit into, this image of who you're supposed to be, this blueprint of what your life should look like. But the funny thing is, none of it is real. It's all smoke and mirrors, a house of cards, and every time you think you've got it figured out, they move the goalposts. You think you've won, you think you're there, and then, bam, another hurdle, another obstacle, and you're right back where you started. So tell me, how long are you going to keep playing this game? How long are you going to keep running in circles, chasing that illusion? At some point, don't you have to stop and ask yourself why? Why am I doing this? Why am I running? What's it all for? But here's the thing, when you finally stop and ask, the answers are terrifying, aren't they? Because you start to realize the truth. You realize that you've been chasing something that doesn't exist. You've been living someone else's dream, and now you're stuck. You're stuck in a life that's not yours, with goals that aren't yours, all while they keep telling you to move faster, climb higher, dream bigger. But whose dream is it really? It's not yours, is it? No, it's theirs. The ones behind the curtain, pulling the strings, the ones who've convinced you that their way is the only way, the ones who've sold you a lie wrapped up in a pretty bow and made you think you're the one in charge. Well, guess what? You're not. You're just playing the game they designed for you. But here's the secret. They've left out the most important part, the truth. The truth is, none of that stuff matters. None of the money, none of the status, none of the fame. It's all fleeting. And the moment you stop playing by their rules, the moment you start thinking for yourself, that's when the world changes. Because the moment you break free from their illusion, that's when you realize the game was never about winning. It was about surviving. Surviving in a world that doesn't care about you, that only cares about what you can provide. The game is set up to keep you distracted, to keep you striving, so you never stop to ask the real question, why? Why are you doing this? Why are you living this life? But the truth, my friend, is this: you don't have to play their game. You can stop. You can walk away from it all. You can tear up the script, throw out the plan, and start your own path. And that right there is the greatest rebellion. Because in a world that wants you to keep chasing, to keep running, to keep striving for things that won't satisfy you, breaking free is the ultimate victory. They'll try to keep you in the loop. They'll try to convince you that you need their approval, their validation, their system, but you don't. You never did. All you need is to realize that the game is rigged, and the only way to win is to stop playing. Oh, we love to think that we're in control, don't we? That we've got it all figured out. We walk around with our heads held high, thinking we're the masters of our fate. But let me tell you something. No one ever really has control. Control is an illusion, a sick little joke that we love to play on ourselves. It's like a game, isn't it? We hustle, we grind, we make plans, and we dream about this perfect life. We think if we just work hard enough, if we just follow the rules, everything will fall into place. But guess what? Life doesn't care about your plans. It doesn't care about your rules. Life does what it does. And you just play along, thinking you have some say in the matter. You think you have control over your destiny, but in reality, you're just a puppet in the grand scheme. Oh, you may think you're the one pulling the strings. You may think you're the one in charge. But life is the one laughing at you behind the scenes. It watches you scramble, watches you fight for your place in the world, and all the while, it's got its own agenda. It's playing you like a violin, making you dance to its tune, all while you think you're in control. You think your hard work matters, that your struggles mean something, but in the end, what do you have to show for it? A pile of broken dreams, empty promises? Oh, you've been fed that lie, haven't you? The one where they tell you, just work hard and you'll get what you deserve. What a load of crap. They love to tell you that, don't they? They love to make you think that effort equals success. That if you grind long enough, if you sacrifice enough, the universe will just hand you your dreams. But here's the cold, hard truth. The world doesn't work that way. It works 1,000,000 times. You can work yourself to the bone, sacrifice your time, your energy, your happiness. And guess what you'll get in return? A slap in the face. Oh, they don't tell you that part, do they? They don't tell you that no matter how hard you work, sometimes life just doesn't care. Sometimes it doesn't reward you for your efforts. You can put in all the blood, sweat, and tears you want, but life will still laugh in your face. Why? Because life doesn't owe you a damn thing. It doesn't owe you success. It doesn't owe you happiness. It doesn't owe you anything. And the moment you realize that, the moment you stop chasing after something that's never gonna come, that's when the real fun begins. 'Cause now you're free. You don't have to play by their rules anymore. You don't have to listen to their lies. You don't have to follow their script. You can start writing your own story. You can stop running in circles, chasing after something that was never meant for you. You see, they've got you trapped in this cycle, in this game, where they tell you what to do, where to go, who to be. But here's the punchline. They don't know you. They don't know what's best for you. They don't know what you need, and yet they keep pushing you, keep telling you to do more, to be more, to strive for more. Why? Because it keeps you distracted. It keeps you busy. It keeps you in the loop. And the longer you stay in that loop, the longer you keep playing their game, the more you forget what you really want. You forget who you really are. You forget that you have the power to break free. So here's the deal. You can keep playing their game. You can keep grinding, keep striving, keep following the rules. You can keep chasing after something that's never going to fill the hole inside you. Or you can stop. You can look at the world and say, I'm done. I'm not playing this game anymore. You can decide to stop chasing after success as they define it. Stop running after their version of happiness and start living for yourself. You can take back control of your life and stop letting them call the shots. You can decide what success means for you. You can decide what happiness looks like for you. And you can finally live a life that's true to who you are, not who they tell you to be, but it's going to take courage. It's going to take guts, because stepping out of their game, stepping away from their expectations, it's not easy. But let me tell you something, when you stop playing by their rules, when you stop letting them dictate your life, that's when the real power is yours. You see, the joke's on them. They think they have control. They think they can make you play their game. But you're the one in charge. You're the one who can decide whether you keep dancing or whether you walk off the stage. And when you walk off, that's when you finally win. Isn't it just funny? The way we all get so caught up in the game. Everyone's running, but for what? What's at the finish line? What's the prize? You think it's a shiny new house, a fancy car, or maybe, just maybe, some fleeting moment of happiness? But let me tell you, those things, They're just distractions. They're the glitter, the shiny thing, the bait to keep you looking the other way while life quietly passes you by. It's all one big illusion, a performance, and everyone's just an actor playing their part. They've got you running in circles, chasing the carrot on the stick, and you think if you just run faster, harder, you'll catch it. But every time you reach for it, it's just a little farther away. Isn't that the joke? You think you're the one making the decisions. You think you're the one leading the charge. But the truth is, you're just another pawn in the game. You're just another player in a world where the rules were written long before you showed up. They tell you, follow this path, follow that one, do what you're told and you'll succeed. But success, oh, that's another joke. What even is success? Who defines it? Who decides what's enough? When is enough ever enough? And yet, we keep chasing. We're so obsessed with success, with approval, with that elusive moment where we finally feel like we've made it. But I've got news for you, it's not real. It's all smoke and mirrors. It's just an idea, a concept they've sold you, a dream they've packaged and put a price tag on. But that's the thing about dreams, isn't it? They're always out of reach, just a little bit beyond your grasp. You think you've got it, and then it slips away just when you thought you had it in your hands. And what do you do then? Do you cry? Do you get angry? Do you get frustrated, desperate like the rest of them? Oh, I know the feeling. I've seen it 1,000 times. You start out all bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, thinking you've got a plan.